Mike Owens here. Today I'm joined by Ricky Simon, who returns to action, UFC 303. Ricky, always a pleasure, my man. How are things with you today?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Just spent time with family. Only day off, Sunday day off, so I'm enjoying it.
It'll be close to 2 years to the date since you fought in front of an arena, and not only that, but you're making your return to fans at the T-Mobile. How excited are you to get out of the Apex and back into a crowd setting?
Man, that's what it's about. The airplane flying over right now. I'm I'm so excited. Fight at the Apex, like it was cool, like during like the pandemic and everything, because give us opportunity to fight. But man, we're gladiators meant to fight in front of fans, and there's not like that energy. And I've always wanted to walk out of the T-Mobile. I think I fought in Vegas maybe like 4 or 5 times and never fought at the T-Mobile. So I'm looking forward to that energy.
Is there anything extra for you fighting on a Conor McGregor undercard? I mean, I'm not sure if I didn't check your record before, so I'm not sure if you've done it previously, but he's the biggest name in the sport and he brings a certain amount of eyeballs with the casual fans. Does that add anything extra to you, or is it just business as usual?
No, it's awesome. I fought on cards like with Mighty Mouse back in the day.
Mm.
I fought on cards with Anderson Silva, with Izzy. So it's awesome to like I said, there's so much energy in these crowds, and to even get to start with some of these other fighters, even on fight week, seeing walking around and stuff, seeing how they carry around their business and everything like that. So I'm excited. I'm excited to be on the card with him and to bring more eyes to it, even maybe towards my fight and to the overall card in general. So. I'm excited to be on the card with Connor.
What's your main event prediction? Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. If that fight does happen, which there is still a question mark, who do you think's victorious?
Yeah, I think since Chandler came over to the UFC, he's not much of a wrestler too much. He's there to be entertaining, and I think that might be a mistake against someone like Connor the way he hits.
100%. Well, I want to talk about your fight, of course, and I was kind of surprised when I saw the book, and I have to be honest, Vinicius Oliveira, only his second fight in the UFC, and he's getting a guy who's just come out of the top 15. Were you surprised when this matchup was offered? What was your first reaction to the name Vinicius Oliveira?
Yeah, you know, we're always trying to figure that out a little bit. Like, are they trying the UFC? Are they like really like trying to push him maybe since somebody's the second fight in the UFC, um, or what it is? It might just be I've been fighting killers and maybe they want to give me an easy fight. This guy's had one fight in the UFC. He's been in my DMs talking a bunch of shit. Um, but like, let's go to the strength of schedule, buddy. I've fought way tougher dudes for way longer. I've been in the UFC since 2018. I've been doing this, so there's nothing he can do to really break me or get into my head or anything like that. So, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't. I mean, I don't care. The UFC calls. I always just say
Mm.
yes, no matter what. I'm excited. It could be whoever it is. I'm going out there to put on a performance of the night and get a big bonus. So maybe they'll raise the bonuses since it's a Conor card. 303. They did have 300. Let's get those bonuses up to at least 100K.
Um, as I mentioned there, it's just the one fight for your upcoming opponent. But in terms of a scouting report, what have you been able to see in terms of what he does well and maybe a particular areas you're looking to exploit?
Well, I mean, there's no denying it. He's 20-3.
Mm.
23, I believe 16 knockouts. He has some impressive wins and some lackluster wins. You know what I'm saying? Like he should be knocking out these guys at that level he was at. Like he's been kind of calling me old and stuff like that. I'm like, buddy, you're 29 and had one fight in the UFC. I'm 31 and I'm this is gonna be my 12th or 13th fight in the
Mm.
UFC. So um, you're barely young, buddy, and you're way less experienced in my opinion.
Where are you at with him? Because it obviously, I know there's been a little bit of back and forth. Is it personal at this point? I mean, where are you at? Is it a grudge match? Might sound like a little bit of a harsh word, but has it become personal between you and Oliveira?
Oh no, I wouldn't say nothing like that. Like there's not much you have to do to convince me to already want to hurt somebody when you're gonna lock me in a cage with them. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm.
it doesn't get personal. I fought guys that I disliked before and stuff like that. I don't know him. I mean, we're in the same sport, living the same life. I bet you he's a cool dude. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
We're hyping up the fight, whatever it is, but not personal for me. But either way, when that cage door live, I bring violence. That's all I try. That's all I try to do. Whether it's on the feet or on the ground, I'm trying to elbow this guy in his face.
Out of interest, what was the most personal fight that you've had previously? Was there somebody who got under your skin who you maybe wanted to hurt more than others? Who comes to mind?
Um, hmm. There was a couple like even before the UFC, like Chico Camus. I remember he
Mm,
was like mean mugging me a lot and kind of, I don't know, like just bringing that energy before the fight even. And I've always thought that was like always interesting, when people do that when we're already gonna fight. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
That's like posturing that people do who are professional fighters. It's like, hey, dude, we're gonna figure this out. We
mm,
don't got to play these games, but it's one thing if it's for like entertainment for the fans and stuff like that. But I remember Chio Camus just kept me mugging me all week, and I was just like thinking, I can't wait to hit him. I can't, I can't wait till I get paid to punch this guy. But he was actually ended up being like, I talked to even him. I ended up talking to after the fight, we both cornered in Abu Dhabi, and so we're on a flight together, and we had a chance to talk. And I'm like, most of these guys are cool. You know what I'm
mm.
saying? Like, sorry about all the noise, but most of these guys are cool. Like I said, we're living a very similar lifestyle, and who knows if we were training partners, we'd probably be buddies.
Mm, I love it. How much has flying knee defense been on the table for this training camp? I mean, your opponent's coming off one of the knockouts of the year so far. I'm not saying he's going to catch you with the same, but what did you make of that knockout, and how much has that been part of camp?
Impressive, very impressive. I mean, he got first UFC fight. He got two bonuses, $100,000. I mean, that goes far in Brazil, especially.
Mm,
Uh, but but it was very impressive. But he was put in some very bad positions before that. The first round and a half, horrible positions, mounted, double leg rise, flattened out. If I get you in those positions, you don't get out of those positions. So, impressive. The fly knee, the knees have always been like a concern of mine. Like everyone tries to do that on me in my
mm,
entire career. Like I've had 25 professional fights. Everyone tries to shoot something up the middle like that on me because they know their ass is getting taken down. So I've gotten really Mario Batista in my last fight did a great job at it, but we knew it was coming. He threw one. I dropped him off of it because I know it's coming.
mm.
I know how to read that. I'm looking for it. And he even told his corner in between rounds, I can't throw that anymore. He hurt me. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So I'm prepared for it. You bring it on. Throw the knee.
You mentioned the Batista fight there. I want to talk about the last couple. Obviously, your first main event against Song Yadong and then Batista earlier on this year. How do you reflect on those two previous defeats, and what were the keys that you took away from them in terms of lessons learned, if you will?
Oh, I hate it. Come up with two losses. Like only been one other time in my career where I had two losses in a row, and then I went on a five-fight win streak, and got a lot of finishes. And
Mm,
sometimes it takes that. I just need that fire a little bit. Maybe I got a little too comfortable. I don't know. I'm not one to complain, and you never hear it if you lose. And I lost my last two fights, but you know I I'm fighting with these big injuries. I don't like to pull out of fights. You know what I'm
mm.
saying? So, in hindsight, it's like I got to take care of my body a little bit better, and I'm doing just that. Leading up to this fight, I feel so good. 3 weeks out for UFC 303. I've been getting the work in and being able to avoid any major injuries. So I think that's number one for me. And not to make excuses because Song and Dong and Mario Batista, they're animals.
Mm.
This bantamweight class is full of animals.
Yeah.
So. Like I said, I've had so many outings in the UFC in this weight class. Like MMA, it doesn't go like there's very few that go undefeated like that, especially in the best weight class. So, lesson learned, and I'm just so motivated, and the only way to get this bad taste out of your mouth is go in there and beat someone's ass. So that's what I'm planning on doing.
We hear this phrase a lot. I think it was John Kavanagh who first said it in MMA, you either win or you learn. What were the keys you actually take out from the time in the cage? Because as you mentioned, you're one of the top guys in the world. You're fighting the top guys in the world. So what was the key pieces of experience that you can take in to this fight and obviously to the rest of your career?
Um, like I said, just like it's unavoidable in this sport to like not get like too beat up before fights and stuff like that. But I'm just trying to take like more precautions on that end because like I mean on top of everything else, man, I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I've been wrestling since I was a little kid, single digits, and I beat people up on the feet too. I throw power, so I feel comfortable in every single area that I'm in. So I think it's just like sometimes it just comes down to a timing thing. And I haven't hit my breakout yet, but I feel like I'm one of those cockroaches. I might be like a Jim Miller type, a Bobby Green type, Poirier type. I'm gonna hit my stride a little bit later, but I know I'm not going away. I possess all the skills in every area, so I'm just staying mentally strong and I'm not deterred. That you hear people on two fight losing streak and they're going through it mentally, but not me, not me. It's me versus me, and I can't even break me.
I love it. looking back on this fight, I mean, as we mentioned at the start, it's a little bit of a strange one given your experience and your longevity in the UFC and Oliveira's relative newness. So, what do you feel like a win does for you after this fight? I mean, you were previously ranked in the top 15. I think you've just dropped out now. What do you think a win does in a couple of weeks' time?
Yeah, I think I can never keep up with the rankings. I usually don't.
Mm.
I usually learn from people tagging me and stuff like that. But man, I got ranked in the top 15 in my first year in the UFC, and I've been in and out since then. So I've been fighting the best. Um, and as far after this one, I mean, I just want to stay active. Like whether I have a feeling they're gonna want to push me right back into the rankings because that's where I belong. But shit, give me another guy like this, another prospect like this, and then I can get another win under my belt, get a new contract signed, and then let's get back into it. So just let me get back on track. I think that's the goal. 2024, back on track. I know I'm UFC championship worthy, so that's the goal this year. Is just get back on track.
Do you prefer to fight the prospects, the guys on the come up, or do you prefer to fight the guys who've got a little bit more experience like yourself?
I prefer to fight the more established guys because it means more. It means more. Um, at the end of the day, So
Mm.
and plus it's easier to find video on them. You know what it's like when they get you see what they're like when they get tested and put through adversity. With these new prospects, there's just a lot of hype behind them and a little bit less like there's a little bit more unknown, I guess. But I like to find more solidified competition, I think.
Mm. And I think I saw a headline, correct me if I'm wrong, but I did see something saying you're trying to make a quick turnaround depending on how this fight goes and fight in the sphere. Is that right?
Oh, I would love that. I know everyone's trying to jump on that card, but man, that'd be a dream for me. I have my second baby due in October, so a September fight would be perfect for me, especially like another another Mexican card like that at the Sphere. I don't think they're gonna. I don't. Dana kind of talk about maybe being a one-off, so if
Mm.
I could be a part of that. I know that would be kind of historic, and I would love to jump on, and I would do that quick turnaround. I don't care. Let's do it.
What do you think the card in the sphere looks like? Because we hear a lot about it, but it's difficult. Haven't seen some of the contests that have been in the sphere. It's difficult to kind of imagine a UFC event there. So, assuming you
Yeah.
do get to fight on that card, what do you think it would actually look like?
I have no idea. I have no. I just assumed like it'd be like a lot more like production. Like I've
Mm,
seen all the screens and stuff. Are they going to play the fight also on the screens? And then
mm,
I have no idea. But
mm.
um, I just imagine the walkouts and the production is going to be just electric. And I want to be a part of that. And I wonder what the seating is going to be like. The number of
Exactly.
seats they'll sell compared to the other arenas I've fought in. So I just assume it's going to be massive,
Mm,
and I want to be a part of it.
mm. We're hearing a lot of rumors. It could be headlined by the title in your division, Sean O'Malley versus Merab. If that fight does get booked, how do you see that one playing out? Who do you think comes out on top?
Hmm. Man, it's a that's a kind of a tough one because I mean Marab's good at taking people down, and Sean kind of showed that he's like his jiu-jitsu, his grappling is not actually not as bad as everyone thought it was. He can scramble back up to the feet, but like, can he keep doing that? Because Marab's not going to go away.
Mm,
I know that from personal experience. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
He just keeps coming at you. So, but the striking distance seems to be a little off with Marab, and I feel like O'Malley could even catch him. So it's one of those ones where I'm excited to find out.
Mm.
I want to watch it.
Did O'Malley did O'Malley change your opinion of him after the Cheeto fight? Because there was still an asterisk over his name when he had the split against Peter Yan and then the questionable stoppage against Aljamain Sterling to win the title. Did he change your opinion of that decision win over Cheeto in March?
No, that fight didn't really change anything for me. I think the Yan fight, even though I thought he lost that fight, I thought that still like maybe give me a little more respect for him. I think
Mm,
because he did overcome adversity,
mm,
and I didn't really see that from him in the past. I see him kind of wilt under adversity. Anytime he get hurt or something, kind of turn into a little punk ass. So I don't know, but yeah, that fight was impressive. He was able to come back from something, and he does a lot of things very well. So and I've never disputed that. I just think I'm a
mm.
bad stylistic matchup for him, and yeah, so I think that's where most of his come from. I think.
Couple more from me, Ricky, and thank you for the time. You mentioned a minute ago your second baby is due in September, October. So obviously that depends on if you get the fight in the Sphere. How does having a baby affect fight camp? Does that make things more difficult? How does that kind of change preparation for when you look into the future and you'll obviously have a newborn in the world?
Yeah, no, it is. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work
Mm,
for sure. But I've been with my wife for for a long time, and for my entire fight career, so she knows what it takes for me to make it to these fights. And it definitely makes it harder. It definitely makes it harder, especially because I travel and train a lot. I travel to
mm,
California. I travel to Vegas during camp. And I usually would fly them out with me, but I just needed to focus on training. I'm training 4 times a day. It's kind of hard for me to live the dad life too. I got to
mm,
do this selfishly for a little bit. So we're splitting that up, and I'm figuring out how to do that a little bit better. I'm flying training partners to me. Like my friend Gianni, my training partner, and he's gonna be my partner Gianni Vasquez, and my cousin Vince Morales coming out and training with me, staying at my house, so I can kind of have them just right there. I have a home gym, and then we go and train at the gym as well. So just having to manipulate the times and everything like that. But I mean, we can do it. Everyone's been doing it forever. We can
mm.
manage.
I love it. Well, last one from me. You can be as brief or as detailed as you like with this one. Give me a walkthrough of what the perfect fight day looks like on the 29th of June. So I want to know in your mind as you visualize it, what happens when you wake up in the morning to when you go to sleep at night in a perfect world.
Oh yeah. Well, I use that brain tap. Like I don't know if you've seen that. I use that brain
Yeah, yeah.
tap in the at night and in the mornings. So I do that. Use my red light. Drink a triple shot, breakfast cappuccino. Uh, Perfect day. Go to fight mentally strong. Do what I think I'm gonna do, which is dominate, make him bleed, make him tap. Yeah, get that extra bonus. That I know they're gonna raise that bonus up. So get that too. And I mean that's it. I mean I'm already well into my UFC career, so I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. But get a bonus on top of this would be even better.
I love it. I love it. Ricky, always a pleasure catching up, my man. Have a great and safe rest of camp and wish you the best of luck for the next fight.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thanks for having me.